Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode here at the Debate Circle. We are in the Nyanza region, and we cannot wait to build the anticipation and crown the champions of this particular region. The motion of dissection today reads, cryptocurrency is a viable investment option for financially savvy Kenyan youth compared to stocks and shares. I'll read the motion of dissection again. Cryptocurrency is a viable investment option for financially savvy Kenyan youth compared to stocks and shares. Proposing and opposing this motion, we have Maranda High School Team A and Team B. All the best to both teams. Team proposition first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
In the words of Diane Ackerman, that we human beings, we are joyriders, we are caretakers, but we are revolutionary economists. Now coming to you is Stafford Denzel from Maranda High. Now, I have that firm to propose the motion that cryptocurrency is a viable option of investment over stocks and shares for the financially savvy Kenyan youth. Now, cryptocurrency simply entails selling and buying online without a central bank. And shares, simply, this is just the percentage of money owned by a company and in an individual. Now, stocks, on the other hand, is just the amount of shares that have been sold. Look at this side. Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're the common forms of cryptocurrency that we have. According to Business Daily, that is 2021, that the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum have massively increased. For instance, the price of Bitcoin surged from $10,000 to $60,000. That was between mid-2020 and 2021. You can agree with me on that. Another thing is the accessibility. We have the accessibility and the lower rates. It allows the young investors, the young Kenyans, they can actually invest in cryptocurrency without need of a complex procedure compared to stocks and shares. Take this instance. Just a few dollars, a young Kenyan invests in cryptocurrency, then in a span of, let's say, 6 months, he has 10,000. Back in Netherlands, we had John Bosman with his uncle. This guy, he was an orphan. He was able to shift from being one of those guys in the rags to living to that luxurious life because he chose cryptocurrency. He was able to invest with $10,000, which he actually got the loan from the bank. Then later, the money augmented to $50,000. He was able to save his siblings, and he was also able to save his reputation in this world-class economy. So I fail to understand why you want to oppose such a motion. Yet it's clearly evident. Please ponder on that. Now, I rest my case by telling you guys that cryptocurrency, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and what have you. Take, for example, Coinbase and Robinhood. They allow you to invest your money in small amounts compared to stocks and shares, whereby you need large amount of money. And the decisions that a company makes, it is influenced by the shareholders. But for cryptocurrency, you are independent-minded. It is decentralized. Everything lies in your control. No control of government. I rest my case. Thank you.
I can still believe someone standing here before you, supporting, proposing, having the guts to support a motion like cryptocurrency is better compared to stocks and shares. Oh. Cryptocurrency is a viable investment option for financially servicing the Kenyan youth compared to stocks and shares. That I oppose. Abel Mutuku from Maranda High School. Why are cryptocurrency better than stocks and shares? Why do you take that perspective? Where is Safaricom? Where is Safaricom? Our late legend, millionaire Chris Kirubi. Financially stable due to what? Crypto? Is it crypto? Stocks and shares have proven, have risen, have subjected themselves to other qualities that cryptocurrencies don't have. For instance, Safaricom, according to its shares, it doubles up and grows each and every day. It doubles up to an amount that it attracts the investors. It attracts the investors to come and buy shares from them. and to definition of terms. Cryptocurrency, according to Titan.com, are digital tokens that represent the value of a decentralized digital network. Then we go back to stocks. These are values and shares in a company that are sold. Coming back to stocks itself, are units of equal value in which a company is divided and are added to be sold. Then you still say that cryptocurrency stands a match to stocks and shares. Let us look at regulated markets. The Nairobi Securities Exchange operates under the regulations of the Capital Market Assembly that ensures transparency and investor protections, that enables traditional stocks and shares to be regulated and be secured in certain ways that crypto cannot be secured. Crypto are very prone to attacks. Cyber attacks, you can talk about the 2011 incident, you can talk about the 2017 incident that have always attacked crypto. According to Forbes.com, the traditional stocks are based on regulations that provide a level of security and consumer protection not available in crypto networks. And in a nutshell, do you still believe that a Kenyan youth who has just started his life, who wants to prosper, will invest in cryptocurrencies that in due time will destroy him through hacks, through amounts, through everything? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Griffin Waso of Maranda High School again, and though these lights have done their best to illuminate the environment, allow me with this mic and the speakers, illuminate your brain, your knowledge, and add something to our opposing team here. So, my friend has lied to us so openly that I was shocked. He said that crypto is prone to cyber attack, and we can talk about the 2017 incident. I don't know how many of you have phones. You can just quickly check this. In 2017 November, cryptocurrency, that was Bitcoin, rose from the value of 620 billion to nearly 3 trillion US dollars. If I convert that to Kenyan money, I'm not so good in math, so I won't do it. If I convert that to Kenyan money, it's a lot of money. Over 10 trillion, it's a lot. So I am here to tell you another thing. When you're trading in crypto, you have leverage. Leverage is offered by brokers like FBS on platforms like Meta5 Trading and Meta4 Trading. Now, when you have leverage, this simply is telling the Kenyan youth, you, Kenyan youth who doesn't have a job, who has been on the street like a GNZ, sit down, take your laptop, open Meta5. Then once you have Meta5, you have $100 in it. No, in fact, 100 is a lot. You have $10. Multiply that by 126. That is $126 times 10. That is 1,260 shillings. You have 1,000. Oh, I said I'm not good in math. You have 1,226 shillings. We are going to give you a leverage. On that money that you have, you can control up to 50% more of what you have, trade in crypto, and then you'll get your returns back in the day. Then this is giving you an opportunity as a Kenyan youth. You don't have the capital to go buy stocks. Elon Musk last year, by the way, he has Tesla, the stocks that are doing so well. Elon Musk openly said in an interview, he was asked, Mr. Elon Musk, could you tell us why you would advise a youth to invest in your shares and in your stocks? And then he said openly that, actually, I advise youth not to trade or invest in Tesla. Why was the reason? Not because he was so selfish, but simply because he said Tesla's shares are way too expensive. Now, when we're talking about Kenyan youth, this is someone who does not have the money to begin with. This is someone who is looking to make a living. Yeah, and then my brother talked about the incident in 2011. There was another one in 2007 to 2009, by the way, during the global recession. This is where stocks failed, and they failed terribly. And during that period, what did we have? We have a guy, Alvin Govinda. He was an Indian nationalist, but he lived in the US. Alvin Govinda, over a span of 30 minutes, he made $1 trillion and made the market crash. In fact, he was later arrested because he was so much of a trader in the crypto world that he just needed to look at the crypto market in the online chart of Meta4 and trade. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am aware from now you're not going to be convinced again or lied to. I'll be here to help you. Thank you. Griffin Waso.
My name is Charles Otsula. Allow me to begin at a point of asking the proposition team, the first proposer was saying something about cryptocurrency being very easily accessible. You know, technically you haven't highlighted to us how one gets to access a cryptocurrency network or something. Now, I have a cousin who deals in stock and markets exchange. His name is Zachary Ndungu. And Zachary Ndungu, out of curiosity in how stock and shares works, I consulted him, and his response was to go and look at a book by Hong Harrison called The Journal of Finance on page 59, where Harrison highlights the steps on how one can access the stock markets. And you know, for the Kenyan youth, I believe most of them are a very lazy cohort. Now, all you need to do is to access a broker, a stockbroker. Stockbrokers are availed by those organizations. Let's say, for example, you want to make a stock trade with Equity, for example, because they offer stock and shares trading. All they do, they assign you a stockbroker who is going to simply walk you through the steps. And frankly, if you don't want to participate with anything to do with it, you give your money to the broker and he does the rest. All that reads in your account is the reflection of the profits that you're making each time there is a sale in that company. Allow me to talk about security. Now, the second proposer, you are really stabbing us on the issue about stock and shares being so unsecure such that they are making very huge losses, market crashes. Have you thought about the market crashes that cryptocurrency makes? In February 2014, Mt. which was the largest Bitcoin exchange at that time, was declared bankrupt. The company claimed that it had lost approximately 750,000 Bitcoins, which translated to about $473 million belonging to clients. Reason? Hacking. In 2017, as the first opposer here was saying, as much as you have said the companies which made profit, we have Tether, Slovenian crypto exchange, and Yapian. They experienced hackings where Tether lost over $31 million. Yapian 2 times hacked, and they lost about 75% of all the Bitcoins that they were dealing with. So you cannot convince me about cryptocurrency being more secure. Finally, I would like to talk about the safety and sense of confidence that comes with dealing in stock markets. Just imagine that you are able to study market trends. As you are dealing with stock and exchange, you are able to study market trends. And these are things which are provided for free. Let's say, for example, you're watching TV and there's an analysis of how the companies are performing. This gives you a sense of confidence and makes you know when to invest, when to make a profit, and when you're going to make a loss. So the risk is for you to choose. Thank you.
Do you know how many people invest in cryptocurrency? Well, Investopedia gives us the answer. By 30th June 2024, around 560 million people invest in cryptocurrency. This is as a result of times 112 from 2016's 5 million. As the old saying goes, a bamboo that bends is stronger than an oak that resists, and change is inevitable. Cryptocurrency, as was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto in January 2009, and is being used by many countries all over the world, such as El Salvador, South Korea, and India. Why don't we just join the train and follow cryptocurrency? Now, to my opponents, you have said that cryptocurrency we have many security breaches. But if you look at cryptocurrency, we have this technological advancement called the blockchain. So look at this blockchain. It's an advanced database mechanism that allows transparent information to be shared between users of cryptocurrency. In this blockchain technique, one is able to trace the information, trace the transactions through ledgers and other forms whereby he or she can trace the transactions. And also, we have cryptography. Cryptography enables the cryptocurrency. The information that is being shared is coded such that one cannot receive information about your transactions. And then, as you have heard from my fellow proposers, They have spoken about many things such as accessibility. We are able to gain access through this cryptocurrency. We are able to establish a digital wallet whereby we can invest our money and get higher returns. The cryptocurrency is decentralized in a way in which the decisions are not made by one single institution. This enables us to prevent monopoly, which might in the end lead to huge losses. But as I want to rest my case, I am Dr. Wesonga from the Maranda High School, and I want you to join our train in following cryptocurrency. Thank you.
From the Maranda High School, my name is Gary, Charles Gary, here to strongly oppose the motion that cryptocurrency is a viable investment option for financially savvy Kenyan youth as compared to stocks and shares. First of all, allow me to start from a point of acknowledging my fellow opposers that stocks and shares are more liquid. And stocks and shares are also, the level of volatility is manageable. A case in point is in Kenya, 2020, March the 20th, whereby the Capital Markets Authority, through the Nairobi Stock Exchange, used circuit breakers. Now, what are circuit breakers? Circuit breakers is a form whereby trading is stopped or halted when the prices, or rather the levels, rise too low or too high. This was done to curb the panic buying occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, stocks and shares are indicators of economic growth, progress, strength, and development. They're a better reflection of what's on the ground. They really give us a true picture of what is and what is not, as compared to cryptocurrencies. According to Investopedia, there was a stock market crash in 1929, 1973, 1974, and 2008. What did this show? This showed that the economy slowed, almost grinded to a halt. And what did the dot-com bubble of 2000 show us? I believe it showed that there was a growth. A growth of what? The level of disposable income, the ability of the Kenyan youth to invest in what's happening globally. Secondly, stock markets, by virtue of housing shares, play an essential role in the growing of industries and ultimately affects the economy. According to research done by Raymond Nyamakanga of the University of Nairobi, he showed that stocks and shares can actually boost the level of economic activity by providing long-term capital to companies. A good example is when Safaricom actually shows out an initial public offering, whereby they ask the public for money. Invest in us, let's use your money, let's make more money, and we'll give you more cash for your bank. Or rather, I think it's more bang for your cash. This allows us to invest, and as a Kenyan youth, I will take all opportunities and all the money I have and invest in stocks and shares, as compared to cryptocurrency. I want every chance I can get to have pride in investing in my country. Stocks and shares show long-term growth and capacity to grow. They have shown that the bigger the business, the more money you can invest. And I believe in cryptocurrencies, there are countries that have banned cryptocurrencies such as China, Egypt, and Iraq. How can you invest something that's illegal? Thank you. My name was Charles Gary.
I'm back, Griffin Waso of Maranda High School again. And I want to inform you that let nobody tell you that the stock market is safe, because it failed so bad in October 19th of 1987 that they called that Monday morning the Black Monday. The stocks failed so bad and people incurred losses. And another thing, if we are still talking about this Kenyan youth, then probably in Kenya, there's only one stock that he can invest in. That is Safaricom, the only unicorn in Kenya. That is a company valued to over $1 billion net worth. Now, when we look at cryptocurrency, you start with low investment. You can access it anytime. It is easy to use, user-friendly. And by the way, do you know why the Nairobi Stock Exchange market changed from something like this, a hall, where people came and did bidding, to online wallet? because of things like cryptocurrency. They were introduced, they showed the blockchain technology. Transactions are recorded in a digital ledger where you see this did this did that. So to this point, I know we all agree that indeed cryptocurrency is a viable alternative for investment for the Kenyan youth. Thank you.
My name is Charles Gary once more from the Maranda High School. And I want to point out, is it really fair to compare the losses stocks have made with cryptocurrencies? Is it really fair? I mean, from my point of conscience, or rather, I will not ascribe to your school of thought that cryptocurrencies make much less losses. I mean, let's look at the real deal here. Stocks and shares are the future. And poets, ages hence, have tried to tell us that old is gold. What are cryptocurrencies? Cryptocurrencies are simply building on the framework of money, the monetary system. And poets that I've just said, I've been telling you, that poets have been telling us ages and ages hence that old is gold. And allow me to point one thing. Wash trading. Wash trading is the artificial inflation of prices of the cryptocurrencies. Now, due to its unregulatory framework, the volatility, the lack of regulation, security risks, and limited consumer protection, those are enough cons to just make us lose this bet. If I was to bet, I mean, choose your side. Thank you. My name is Gary, Charles Gary.
I would love to begin by commending both teams for that debate. And I'll start with side proposition quickly. Denzel Othiambo, you have a very good organization of points. And I wish to commend you on the fact that I could easily get what you are saying based on how organized your points were. However, the motion reads, cryptocurrency is a viable investment option for financially savvy Kenyan youth compared to stocks and shares. Within this motion, there are content words that I would wish you had defined. And defining them would then mean you contextualize the content words in regards to the motion and then tie that with the arguments that you have so that it then it prevents these loose hanging points and stops me from wondering, does Denzel understand what a financially savvy Kenyan is? And then the next thing is, I expected data on the status of financial savviness of Kenyans, like a figure that would, for example, show how many Kenyans are able to capitalize on crypto. I would want to see that data because it is available based on the data of how many Kenyans are trading and how many young people are doing crypto. This data is available. So I find that this data would have properly augmented your argument and helped judges understand why exactly the youth should focus, especially the Kenyan youth should focus on cryptocurrency as long as they're financially savvy. Griffin Waswa, I loved the fact that you remembered to engage in rebuttals and especially in regards to the value of Bitcoin rising. However, you failed to provide data on the argument about how Bitcoin rose and the reference. I could not find the reference to which you are alluding when you say that Bitcoin rose by several $1 billion. But then you also have a good way of organizing your points, and it came out clear I could understand what you're saying. Doxton Wesonga, I hope I didn't butcher that name. Great use of rhetorical questions. That's a very good way of doing introduction. Keep on doing it. But then I'll also love the fact that for every argument you made, there was a clear reference and there was an example of benefits of stocks and shares. And your points were equally well organized. That's something that a good debater has to do. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.